there, everyone. Welcome to the Fear the Walking Dead after show on the Stream.tv. I'm your host, Jocelyn Polite, and I'm so happy to be joined by my co-host here.
Hello, I'm Kiyra Lynn. Hello, everyone.
Okay, and we are here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. I am so glad that this is back for season 2. I mean, I didn't have a doubt that it would be back, but I'm so glad that it came back.
The anticipation, everybody could not wait to see what they had lined up, especially after that season finale.
Oh my gosh, exactly. And I'm sorry, but before we get into it, what happened to the supplies? Strand said that there were going to be supplies. He said he had endless supplies.
Endless supplies of toilet paper, Q-tips, whiskey, and corn. Apparently, that's it. That was it.
I was like, can someone open the cupboard? Like, where are the sardines? You know, I'm like, you know what? Rich bachelor men, there's never any food, right?
Right.
Okay, well, we're going to get into that and so much more. But first, we have to let you know that you can tweet us using the hashtag FearTWDAS. That's a mouthful, but hashtag FearTWDAS. You can tweet us. You can give us your comments, your questions. Let us know what you're thinking. And later on in the show, we're going to read that. And you can have yours read right here on the show. And we're going to dive right into that beach scene because I did not know that the zombies had pushed that far in. I knew LA was lights out, but I didn't know it was that bad yet.
Well, when the season finale ended, it ended in the daylight. It ended with them on the beach, and then it broke right into just fire and them on the beach, and all of a sudden it was them getting in that boat, waiting to get out onto Abigail. Right?
Right.
So it was kind of, I was a little confused, like at first, and I was trying to navigate where they were actually going. It took a little bit. I don't know.
And who is Abigail? We still don't know who Abigail is, but you know, I guess we're going to get there.
No, Abigail is the yacht.
Yeah, but I think Abigail is, you remember he was on his cufflinks, so I think Abigail is somebody, and I can't wait to find out who she is. But one of the things that was disturbing to me was Chris carrying his mom's corpse. But I understand, because it's your mom, you don't want to leave her there for the zombies, I guess, to eat.
But it was actually, I mean, you have to realize this is his mother. He didn't have any choice in the matter when she was killed. And so obviously he's experiencing this traumatic experience, but he was dragging his poor mother's body around.
And it was hard to watch. It really was. It was really hard to watch. But, you know, I don't know. I guess he's going to bring his mom, but they're going to, you know, bring her on board. It was just kind of weird to see that. But my question is, like, in this, who is going to die in this situation? Because everyone seems to be very important, you know, and sometimes I think, is it Daniel? Is it Ophelia? I mean, I don't know, but everyone seems to be important right now. So I'm wondering who would be the person to go.
Okay, so Walking Dead style, it's always going to be someone that you were not anticipating it going to be, but I guess if there was like low-hanging fruit, I think it's actually going to be Daniel. That's what I think.
Ooh, but see, Daniel's like the one that knows how to do everything. He knows how to fit. Okay, we're going to get to Daniel. All right, but then we boarded the Abigail. Okay, which is how great was that yacht?
It was
I'm
beautiful.
like, why couldn't we meet Strand like 6 months earlier and like chill on his yacht? That's what I'm thinking.
Film some music video.
I know, exactly. But okay, so we're on his yacht, and first of all, there's tension. There's tension between Travis and all of them. But before we get to that, how about, there's so many places I want to go. Like, this episode was so great, but I think the thing that took us all by surprise were the rescue. All of those people that were in that boat, and they were trying to figure out if they were going to bring them on board, and there were like 20-something, 23 of them more.
There was a ton of people on that boat.
So would you bring them on board?
Sorry.
That's honest.
It's honest. I mean, especially if I were in that situation. I mean, I'm a mom. I have a family. I'm sorry. I don't know if that boat of 20 people, they don't really even understand at this point what the infection really is. And, you know, it's just, it's fear ruling you. I would live in fear. If I didn't know what was on that boat, no, hell no.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching it and I was thinking that, you know, no, I'm the type of person that would want to bring, you know, people on. I mean, you want to feel that, but just, I know, right? but at the same time, it's like, you want to be protective of the people that are on there, so I get it. It was I mean, it's a hard decision, but it was kind of brutal to see them, and they're just, you know, Strand's like full force ahead, like it's not going to happen.
And the crying and the wailing. I mean,
it was bad.
And you know, Madison is that person that she's the mom.
Yeah.
You know, she's the career, or she's the school counselor. She wants to help people.
Yeah.
So she tugs at the heartstrings. She did.
I know, but they had to leave them. So, okay, so let's talk about like Chris and Travis, because they've got some tension going on because Travis had to shoot his mom, you know, because she was infected, she got bitten or scratched. And so now there's this thing going on between them, and it resulted in him punching his dad.
Kicking the beep out of his father. Yeah, I mean, I get him trying to release that anger. You know, he didn't have a choice. It was, you know, in the final episode, it was just his mom saying, you know, I'm infected, you know, handing the gun, you know, handing the gun to them and saying, you know, it's time. And then all of a sudden you just hear that gunshot. You know, he's a teenage boy.
Right.
Who loves his mother.
Right.
His mother was obviously very important to him, and he has to take it out on someone.
Yeah.
So.
And it's getting real. So I mean, and this is what happens. And okay, and Alicia is hooking up via radio. I guess, you know, Instagram, Twitter, there's none of that right now.
Yeah.
So she's like on the radio, you know, hooking up. I think Strand set her up to basically say, kind of listen out and see what's going on. But she, you know, took to like, I mean, she's like on the bed, like chilling. She's like, what are you doing? What are you wearing?
Gosh, way back in the day, what is it, a party line? She was on a party line, right?
Yes, she was.
Essentially a party line with Jack. Jack with that voice.
Jack.
I would have totally given in to Jack. I really would have.
Well, I was going to say, as stupid as she's, you know, as we found out that is, I probably would have, I mean, as a teenager, I would have been that one that was on the radio too. I would have been taught, I mean, there's some guy like, hi, you know what I mean? I would have done the same thing. I don't want to sit there and talk to my family on this boat for this long. I mean, there's somebody out there.
She's
I get
young,
it.
She's naive. You know, there's somebody out there who seems to be the same age, you know, and she's bored.
Right. There you go. Right. And who are these people? Because they're coming.
Yes.
And that was pretty scary because they said, it was almost like he was like, we know where you are, or I forgot the exact words that he said, but it was something like, we're coming.
Yes, she told them that they were not coming to the rescue, and that, you know, he said, thank you, Alicia, we're coming. Oh. I think he said, I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Right. Which is pretty scary because you know that that's not gonna
fly.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly, and that's gonna be really weird.
Okay, so not to jump ahead, but you know, Strand basically is calling out Alicia for kind of giving them, like, he doesn't exactly know what information she gave, but I'm afraid to see what ends up happening, how he might actually take it out on Alicia should a boat or should people show up to come and get them, because obviously we don't know that just yet. But
well, he might throw her ass overboard. We just don't know yet. It could be. Okay. So, well, Nick. I think Nick was like the breakout hero. I mean, Nick is really kind of, I want to say, being like the Rick Grimes. You know what I'm saying? Of The Walking Dead. I mean, he knows how to function in this world because I guess the heroin, maybe there's a zombie-like effect that he's had, or he's been around people that have, you know, pretty much been. So he's really kind of, he's done a good job. And I mean, honestly, when he went back to the beach to go get them, I was sitting there going, okay, Nick's in this boat to go get his family on the beach. And I'm like, how is this going to work? But Nick, he handled it. He took the engine and the rudder and like, he made some, you know.
Yeah, that
he
was
made some
very
soup.
graphic of the facial that guy got. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. It was a facial, right? I know. That's what I was saying. I'm up here making soup, and yeah, it was right. It was a facial, but yeah, he did.
You cut back to, you know, when Chris jumps out and says that he was swimming, supposedly. We don't know whether or not that's actually true. You know, he jumps out into the water supposedly to go try to save Chris, and then essentially swims out to the boat because he hears, I think he says, I think I hear somebody else, and swims out to the boat. You know,
but again, would you go in that wreckage? There is no way that I would go into that wreckage. I mean, I would see it and I would go, okay. And it's not even that I would think that zombies are in there. It's just, why would I want to do that? I mean, he's going under the water, coming up and looking.
But let's cut back to what Strand said to him about being fearless. Let's talk about that. I mean, I think that conversation completely set Nick up for that, what you were saying to me earlier, heroic sort of sense, you know?
Somebody finally has some confidence in him and seems to kind of understand him, and that's a really strong emotion. Somebody actually is confident in you, and I think Nick is like, he's just being the hero. He's being the savior.
Or Nicholas.
Right, exactly.
Nicholas.
And speaking of him, did we see a little something between him and Ophelia? Yeah, he's like telling her how to treat her wound and have a little vodka and make it go, you know what I mean?
Vodka takes care of everything.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, there seems to be a little something between them, so I'm wondering if that's something that'll develop. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I know.
I think so. I mean, Ophelia's hot. Come on.
Yeah, and we
she's
need
hot.
some love tension. I mean, you
Yes.
have to have, you know, some kind of love tension, so why not?
We have to procreate, right?
Oh, gosh.
Procreation needs to happen. That's the survival of the fittest.
I will be so mad if they bring a baby into this situation. Please don't bring a baby into this situation. Please don't bring a baby into this situation. Okay, I don't want it to happen. But let's move to Strand.
Okay.
First of all, I love his character, and I
Yes.
love his rules. This
Rules?
is my boat.
Rule one.
It's my boat. It's my boat. And it's my damn boat. Like, I love Strand because he just puts it out there and he's not afraid to say the things that are uncomfortable and he's not afraid to say the things that are unpopular. But I think he's a great character, and I think just over the course of this just series in general, but specifically this season, I think he's going to develop, and they better not kill him off.
Ooh, yeah, like
Really?
I said, you just never know. But I think they've kind of set it up, you know, with the talk between, I think there was a talk where they were saying, you know, do we exactly trust him? You know, they were like, well, he saved all of us. He got us up on this boat. He saved my family. And Daniel was like, but I still don't seem to trust him. So I think definitely a story is going to unfold, but knowing The Walking Dead and how these writers, you know, he could just be smashed.
Do you trust him?
Hell no.
You don't trust him at this
No, I
point?
don't trust him. I do not trust him. There are so many questions that I personally have, like,
Yeah. Well, he seems to know what's going on all the time, which is really strange because he knew what was going on when they were with the military situation, and he knew to get out.
Yes.
And then he's like, hey, you know what? I have a beach house. I've got some supplies. Let's get out to the Abigail. So he kind of always knows.
He has an escape plan. It's like he's had this map, this layout. I'm really interested to see how this all plays out.
Yeah. And I'm wondering who he's going to clash with because he's clashing a little bit with Madison. And Travis and him seem to be on the same page a little bit, but Daniel doesn't agree with him at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so there's going to be some tension, and I'm wondering between who. I think it's either Madison maybe or Daniel. What do you think?
I full on believe he is going to throw Alicia off the boat. I do. And so if he throws Alicia off the boat, then he's going to have to contend with her mother. So
you're saying someone's going overboard.
Yes.
This season, that's for sure. And how long are we going to be on the boat, too? Because that's another thing. I go on a cruise, people, and like after 3 days, I'm ready to get off. So this boat situation that seems safe because it was water obviously is not safe.
No.
And how long are they going to be on this boat? So we shall see.
There's so many questions, like the exploded boat, the dead on the exploded boat. I want to know. I want to know what's going to happen.
The people coming. I mean, we've got a lot, and I'm so grateful that this season is like stretched out, so we get to really get into all of this, and it's not just 5 or 6 episodes.
What was up with all the bullet holes?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was capsized like out there in the middle of the ocean.
So many questions we have.
Let's see. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with some of your fan questions. So we'll be right back right after this.
Yeah.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Oh, you'd want to take the time travel the whole way back.
Oh my God.
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like,
How
know why we saying yes.
He was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is quite something.
And we're like, ooh, inseparable.
She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it wasn't. So come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
She just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just
It's so good.
You can't count anything out.
Look at you.
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv, guys.
Thank you for joining us, you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
Hey guys, we missed you. Okay, we are back and we're gonna hop into some fan questions, but I wanna remind you to tweet us using the hashtag Fear, TWDAS, and also hop onto the Streams chat on YouTube. I don't know why I had a hard time getting that out, but the Streams chat on YouTube, because we can see exactly what you're saying and interact with you, and that'll be great. All right, so we're gonna get to our first question. What do we have?
Yes, and we have a question from Beefarino. Is it smart or foolish that Alicia responds to a stranger on the radio? Friend or foe on the other hand? And time will tell.
Well, it's foolish, but also probably something I would do. But it is foolish, but I'm like Alicia, I wouldn't really think that talking to someone, maybe they would figure out our coordinates.
Like, how old is Alicia? Alicia is what, 17, 18 years old? How naive is she? Of course, I mean, I do understand we do live in an era where we're supposedly not supposed to talk to strangers, but yeah, she should be smarter than this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
I don't know. Someone told her not to talk to strangers, but I think that's also just a part of that whole world that we live in, which everything is out there, and we're comfortable talking to anybody that we don't know. We're comfortable talking to strangers. We talk to them on Twitter, we talk to them on Facebook and everywhere else, so I'm not shocked by it.
Friend or foe?
Foe. Foe. I think this guy Jack is bad news.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
think he's bringing some people that are bad news too. But I want it to happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's our next question?
Next question is, and this is coming from Mike Markey Music. Fear of the Walking Dead was pretty good. Not as good as The Walking Dead, but still a decent watch. Do you agree?
I agree. I see them as two very different shows, so I don't, and I remember season 1, I was kind of comparing them, and the thing that I was having the most trouble with was how they were killing the zombies. The learning curve, like I already knew how to, as an audience member, I already knew how to kill zombies, so I'm just like, stab them in the brain, so, and they don't know to do that, and so I want them to catch up to what I already know. But now I appreciate it for just being a show that's completely different, and we get to see like how this all happened, and they're completely different characters.
What I really like about it, though, personally, is I'm from LA. You know?
Hello.
I'm from LA.
Are you a native?
I am a native.
Me too.
Yes, we exist. Yes, we do. We do. But so it was really nice to actually see, such a popular show take place in one of the biggest cities in America.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see a different turn, and I like the fact that, I think I actually saw in some of the cuts that, the producers say the audience is smarter than the people on the screen for once. So I thought that was very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I love this season of it, and I love it for being a different show and giving us a different angle as to what all happens.
I agree with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for those, and we are going to. I just want to give a couple of shout outs actually to at FTWD fans. So that would be at Fear the Walking Dead fans, and also at Essential Dead. Those are people that are on Twitter, and they're awesome, and following them is great. They've got a lot of great information, and so follow them as well. Also, I want to let you know to follow us, because we'll be talking about Fear the Walking Dead all week.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and we're going to be back here next week, because we're going to be actually airing on Sunday. So we will be back right after Fear the Walking Dead. So make sure that you follow us. Make sure you keep in touch with us. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week for another episode of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.